Welcome back to World Crisis Radio. This is your host, Webster Tarpley, here in Washington, D.C. I recommend that everybody early in the broadcast take this opportunity, go over to actindependent.org, actindependent.org. You will see two intervention papers which I've turned out now in the last week, since the last broadcast. The lower one, the one that was put on first, therefore, is an intervention leaflet for congressional town halls. If you're listening and you want to go to a town hall and you want something to intervene with that will escape the barren and manipulated conflict between Obama on the one side and Rush Limbaugh on the other, if you want to break out of that idiotic dynamic, then act independent. I've got the stuff for you. It is a leaflet which calls for a Tobin tax. It says we need health care, but it's got to be financed by shifting the cost of the world economic depression to the zombie bankers and derivatives mongers who caused the depression in the first place. And it also shows the impossibility, actually the bankruptcy of both of the media-approved positions. In other words, support for Obama is inadmissible. But horrors, on the other side, you've got reactionary Republican operatives moving in like jackals and vultures that they are, and they're spewing their filth about free enterprise and free markets, right? Meaning you have no rights. You have no right to health care. You have a right to take your chance in the free market. You're on your own, and too bad if you die. But if you do die, you'll be dying for the greater glory of the free market. That's also inadmissible. That's actually propping Obama up because that is so horrendous. Now, obviously the TV, when the TV picks people that they put on the air to be the spokespersons for the rebellion, they go for that because that is obviously what helps Obama, and it also what degrades the entire debate. So there's an intervention paper. If you want to put a real issue on the table, something that's out of the ordinary, a flank, if you will, on this entire situation to move the debate forward, it's the Tobin tax, a 1% tax on Wall Street turnover. Tax the fat cats, tax the banks. That's populism. The other side, none of the other two groups are populistic. It's not populistic to kill people with death boards, and it's not populistic to kill people by saying take your chances in the free market, and the market will do the rationing and the market will kill you, because that's the proposal of the other media-approved side. The other thing you got up there is if you consider yourself a leftist, if you've been in the anti-war, anti-Bush-Cheney, anti-impeachment movements, you'll notice that your peace organizations are AWOL. They're lying down. They're in Obama's pocket. Where have all the peace groups gone? This will, according to my spies in Nashville and elsewhere, and in the folk song world, country and western world, we're going to have a version of Where Have All the Peace Groups Gone appearing before you know it, and I think another great career is going to come out of this. So do go and look. A left opposition to Obama. The point is, as these town halls should show, Obama is politically doomed. I'm sorry. You can see the track that he's put himself on. If this just goes forward in the way that it's going forward, he's finished. Politically, this is a one-term, catastrophic Jimmy Carter Mark II. I told you this a year and a half ago. I think I have probably the best credentials in the business on warning against Obama. So if you see that I knew what I was talking about on that, take these programmatic ideas seriously. And in particular, this is now an organizing perspective. We've got to revive the anti-war movement, specifically over Afghanistan. We've got McChrystal demanding a doubling of the U.S. troops. We've got McChrystal applying a Soviet-style strategy of concentrating in the cities and leaving the countryside to the Taliban. This is McChrystal, one of the main torturers of Iraq. So it's time to field some demonstrations. We need peace demonstrations in September, October of this year. We need candidates running as Democrats, as Green, and even as Republicans. Why not? In 2010, and then we need a primary challenger for Obama in 2012. That is to say, we need what Eugene McCarthy and Robert Kennedy did to Lyndon B. Johnson when he was so hysterically committed to the useless and destructive Vietnam War. That was back in 67, 68. And something like what Senator Ted Kennedy did to Carter back in 79. In other words, when you have a Democratic president who is either a warmonger or an economic failure, you get a primary challenge. Guess what? Obama is both. There's got to be a primary challenge to Obama, and I warn leftists, if you're dismayed by that, all those causes that you care about, all those causes that you had before Obama came along, you're going to have when he's gone. The question is, if Obama drags the Democratic Party and progressive causes in general down into this defeat, if everybody is lashed to the carcass of the Obama administration, as it goes down, those causes will be destroyed. That spells 20 years of arch reactionary politics at the very least. You'll remember what Carter did. After Carter, you got Reagan, and Bush the younger. You might have gotten Bush the elder. You might have gotten 2 Reagans and 2 Bushes, and indeed you got another 2 Bushes after that. So the damage done by Carter goes on and on and on. If you don't want that, if you care about causes rather than your illusions about Obama, it's time to get active. It's time to take on Butcher Barkey, the aggressor, the imperialist in Afghanistan, and fight. And that means you, people. So get out there and field those demonstrations, and don't wait for Code Pink. Don't wait for Peace and Justice. They're all foundation funded. They're all in the pocket of the Democratic Party until they prove otherwise. We obviously believe in human redemption always, but for the moment they are foundation funded. It's okay to be foundation funded as long as you don't take the orders that go with it. But if you take the money and the orders, then you're doomed. You can take the money and disobey the orders. Then, of course, the money stops. So they can choose. So those are the 2 things you're going to find on actindependent.org. When you go to actindependent.org, the other thing you find there is notices for my books. You can go directly. That is to say, Surviving the Cataclysm, Your Guide to the Worst Financial Crisis in Human History. The new 2nd edition is out. This tells you all you need to know about economic program, about hyperinflation, about what to do to save yourself and your family in the short to medium run. And that is there. You've also got Obama, the Postmodern Coup, the making of a Manchurian candidate, the entire question of the tactics of the people power coup, Velvet Revolution, and postmodern or the color revolution. These are all there. So you've also got Barack H. Obama, the unauthorized biography, an in-depth profile. We're expecting to get new information in about a week on Bill Ayers, Bernardine Dorn, and maybe even Ward Churchill, the old weatherman clique from SDS, the people who destroyed that organization 40 years ago this summer, the SDS Split Convention, Chicago, July 1969. 40 years that Ayers and Dorn have been wrecking. Back in a minute.